Hi everyone, I'm excited to jump into something that's been a game changer for me. Today, I want to share a 5-minute trick that can ease knee pain and help you move freely again without reaching for pills. If you've ever felt that nagging ache in your knees slow you down, turning a simple stroll into a slog or making you wince when you bend down, this might just be the quick, natural fix you've been hoping to find. I'm not here with a medical degree or a white coat, just a genuine passion for figuring out how to keep our bodies feeling good as we navigate these later years. I'll walk you through everything I've learned about this trick, break down why it works so well, and give you clear, step-by-step instructions so you can try it yourself. This isn't about expensive therapies, endless doctor visits, or complicated equipment. It's a simple move you can do anywhere, anytime, to lighten the load on your knees. Let's dive right in, because we all deserve to step through our days with comfort and confidence. Knee pain can creep into our lives in ways that feel like a quiet betrayal, but there's a way to take control and push it back. I started noticing it myself some time ago. My knees would grumble after a day of being on my feet, a steady ache that sharpened into a jolt when I climbed stairs, knelt to pick up a dropped spoon, or even just shifted my weight the wrong way. It wasn't a constant torment, but it was enough to make me think twice before heading out for a walk, tackling chores, or enjoying the little things I'd always loved, like tending to my plants or keeping the house humming. I'd always been someone who liked staying active, keeping my days full and my body busy, but that discomfort was like a soft whisper telling me something had shifted, and I needed to listen. After spending time sifting through online articles, flipping through wellness magazines, and tuning into what my own body was signaling, I stumbled onto a trick that's turned it all around. A 5-minute knee stretch. It's not some elaborate routine or a secret only the pros know, just a gentle motion you can do standing up, but it's cut through that stiffness like a warm knife through butter and brought back a freedom to my steps I'd started to fear was slipping away. This isn't just about me, though. It's about something I think a lot of us deal with as the years stack up. Knee pain isn't rare. It's one of those things that seems to tag along with age, popping up when you least expect it and sticking around longer than you'd like. I'd feel it after standing too long or sitting in one spot for hours, and it made me wonder how many others were quietly wrestling with the same thing. Maybe you felt it too, that dull throb or sharp pinch that makes you pause. I didn't want to just accept it as part of getting older. I wanted to understand it, fight it, and find a way to keep moving without letting it define my days. That's where this stretch comes in, a little trick I've tested, tweaked, and come to rely on, and I'm eager to lay it all out for you so you can see if it fits your life too. What makes this 5-minute stretch a knee-saving move? This trick centers on a straightforward stretch that targets the muscles around your knees to melt away pain in minutes. The key player here is your quadriceps, the big, strong muscles running down the front of your thighs, because when they tighten up, they pull on your knee joint, adding extra stress that turns into soreness, stiffness, or even a nagging ache that won't quit. I'd feel it after a long day, my knees complaining as those muscles clamp down, and this stretch, where you stand and gently pull one foot toward your backside, loosens that grip fast. From what I've pieced together through reading and experimenting, tight quads can throw off how your kneecap slides, pressing it harder against the joint and sparking discomfort. Stretching them out eases that tension and lets everything settle back into place. I tried it one morning when my knees felt like they'd rusted overnight, and after just 5 minutes, I walked across the room with a smoothness that caught me off guard, like my legs had suddenly remembered how to work in harmony again. Let's break down why this works so well, because it's not just a random move, it's about how your body's built. Your quads are powerhouse muscles. They're the ones that lift your leg when you walk, help you stand up from a chair, and power you up a flight of stairs. But they're also prone to getting tight, especially if you're active a lot or, on the flip side, if you sit for long stretches without giving them a break. I'd spend hours on my feet, then collapse into a chair for a rest, not realizing those muscles were shortening up, pulling on my knees every time I stood back up. That pull doesn't stay quiet, it travels right to the joint, making it work harder than it should, like a rope yanking too tight on a pulley system. This 5-minute stretch, lifting your foot, holding it back, feeling that front thigh lengthen, releases that strain, almost like you're telling your knees, hey, take it easy, I've got this. I've found it's like flipping a switch, quick, focused, and effective, no need for fancy tools or a gym membership. The beauty of it is how it fits into real life, not some perfect fitness bubble. You don't need to carve out an hour or rearrange your day, just 5 minutes, standing wherever you are, and you're giving your knees a break they didn't know they needed. I do it in the kitchen while waiting for my coffee to brew, or in the living room after sitting too long, and it's like a mini tune-up for my legs. It's not about forcing anything, it's gentle enough to feel safe but strong enough to make a difference. I'd feel that tightness unwind, and my knees would thank me with every step. It's a small move with a big impact, and once I understood why, I couldn't believe I'd missed it for so long. Let's dig into why knee pain becomes a bigger deal over time. Knee pain tends to creep in as we age because our joints and muscles don't recover or flex like they used to when we were younger. Every step you've taken, every bend, every load you've carried over the years wears down the cartilage that cushions your knees. That soft, spongy layer that keeps bone from rubbing on bone. At the same time, the muscles around them, like your quads, hamstrings, and calves, can tighten up or lose some strength, leaving the joint to take on more pressure than it's built to handle. I'd feel that ache after a busy day, and it makes sense. Stuff I've read says cartilage thins naturally as we get older and stiff or weaker muscles pile on extra strain, turning minor stresses into major discomfort. For me, it was like my knees were stuck in a push-pull battle, and this stretch became my way to step in and calm things down. It's not just about cartilage, though. Your whole leg system shifts with time, and that's where the trouble brews. Muscles and tendons don't stretch or heal as quickly as they did decades ago, so a day of activity can leave them taut, tugging on your knees like strings on a puppet. I'd wake up okay, but by afternoon, my knees would feel it, a sign that my quads weren't letting go as easily as they once did. Wellness articles I've skimmed say this stiffness can spark inflammation over time, making your joints grumpy even when you're sitting still. Throw in habits like sitting for hours, standing without stretching, or even walking with a bit of a slump, and you've got a perfect storm. I'd sit reading or watching TV, then stand up stiff, wondering why my knees were so cranky. This 5-minute stretch breaks that cycle, giving those muscles space to relax and taking the heat off my joints, a fix that feels like it's made for how our bodies work now. Age isn't the only factor, lifestyle plays a huge role too, and that's where we can step in. If you've spent years on your feet, like I have, or if you've gotten into a rut of sitting too much, your knees feel the fallout. I'd alternate between bustling around and crashing for a break, not thinking about how it was tightening my legs, and my knees paid the price. What I've learned is that our joints rely on a balance. Muscles need to be loose enough to support without pulling, strong enough to stabilize without giving out, and when that tips, pain sneaks in. This stretch restores a bit of that balance, not by overhauling everything, but by targeting one key spot, the quads, and giving it a quick reset. It's like a little maintenance for a machine that's been running a long time, and it's kept my knees from calling it quits. Here's the way tight muscles stir up knee problems. Tight quadriceps are a major troublemaker for knee pain because they're hooked right into the joint's mechanics and pull hard when they're stiff. When those muscles shorten, say, from sitting at a desk all day, lounging on the couch, or standing rigid for hours, they yank your kneecap upward and out of its natural track, pressing it tighter against the bone underneath. I'd sit for a long stretch, lost in a book or a show, not noticing my quads tightening, and then I'd stand, and my knees would bark, like they'd been squeezed in a vise. Things I've read explain that this misalignment can irritate the joint, sparking inflammation that builds into a nagging ache even when you're not moving. Stretching them, grabbing my ankle, pulling it back, feeling that thigh stretch, lifts that pressure off, and I'd notice my steps lighten up, like my knees had dodged a punch they didn't deserve. The trouble doesn't stop with the quads. Tightness spreads, and other muscles get in on the act. If your hamstrings or calves tighten too, they pull from the back, throwing your knees balance further off, like a tug of war with no winner. I'd feel it when I'd bend to pick something up, my whole leg stiff, and my knees would take the brunt. This stretch focuses on the quads, but it has a ripple effect. Easing that front tension helps the back loosen too, keeping the joint steady and happy. I've seen mentions that chronic tightness can even wear down cartilage faster, a slow erosion I didn't want to fuel. Doing this 5-minute move every day, I'd feel my legs find their groove, not pulling or pushing where they shouldn't, and my knees would thank me with every smooth stride. It's a chain reaction, and it's all connected to how we use, or don't use, our legs. Tight quads don't just hurt your knees, they can shift your posture, making you lean or limp a bit, which piles more stress on the joint over time. I'd catch myself favoring one leg when my knees ached, not realizing I was making it worse, and this stretch stopped that spiral. I'd do it, and my stance would even out, my knees freer. The science I've skimmed says tight muscles can cut blood flow too, starving the area of nutrients that keep it healthy, but stretching flips that, waking things up. It's not about blaming ourselves, it's about understanding the link, and this move breaks it, giving your knees a fighting chance to feel good again. Discover why stretching wins over pills for knee relief. Stretching beats popping pills for knee pain because it tackles the source, not just the surface, and keeps it all natural. Painkillers can hush the ache for a bit. I'd take one when my knees flared up, and it'd help for an hour or two, but they don't loosen what's tight or fix what's out of whack, and over time, they might mess with your stomach or leave you foggy if you rely on them too much. I didn't want to live with a bottle in my pocket, wondering what else it was doing to me, so this stretch, standing, pulling my foot up, holding it, became my lifeline, easing the root problem without a pharmacy trip. Bits I've seen online say stretching boosts muscle flexibility and joint range, cutting pain without any downsides, and I felt it. After a week, my knees were freer, not just numbed, and I could trust my legs to carry me without a crutch. Pills are a quick fix, but they're not a solution. They mask the noise while the problem festers. They block the pain signal, sure, but the tightness stays, ready to roar back the second they wear off. I'd feel good briefly, then stiff again, like I'd just delayed the inevitable. Stretching digs deeper. It lengthens those muscles, takes the strain off your knees, and builds a buffer that lasts through the day. I'd do my 5 minutes in the morning, and by afternoon, I wasn't digging for something to dull an ache. It just wasn't there to begin with. Wellness info I've dug into backs this up. Regular stretching can lower inflammation and improve how your joint moves, a win that pills can't match. For me, it's about owning my comfort, not borrowing it, and that's a freedom worth chasing. There's a practicality to it too. Stretching fits anywhere, anytime, no prescription needed. Pills mean planning, carrying them around, timing doses. I'd forget sometimes, and the ache would creep back, reminding me I wasn't in charge. This stretch? It's just me and my legs, 5 minutes wherever I stand, no fuss or cost. I'd do it before heading out, and my knees would feel ready, not reliant on something external. It's empowering in a quiet way, knowing I can ease my own pain with a move I control, not a tablet I swallow. It's not about shunning meds entirely, they have their moments, but for day-to-day relief, this wins hands down, and I've felt the proof in every step. See what changes when you add this stretch to your day. When you stretch your quads for 5 minutes, your knees get a lift that kicks in fast and keeps growing with time. That tight pull on your kneecap eases as the muscle stretches, letting the joint glide without grinding or catching. I feel it right away, my steps smoother, no hitch or pinch to slow me down. Stick with it daily, and the gains pile up. Less tension means less inflammation, and your knees start handling daily wear with less fuss. I kept it up every morning, and after a month, I was tackling stairs without that old sting, my legs solid and willing to move. Judy tried it too, stretching before her yard work, and she said her knees stopped nagging by noon, a small habit that turned into a big shift for us both. The longer you do it, the more your knees thank you, and it's not just about the moment. Less strain means less wear on the joint, slowing that creep of stiffness or soreness that can build with age. I'd notice my knees felt less cranky even after long days, like they'd found a second wind. Stuff I've read suggests stretching boosts blood flow to the area, feeding those muscles and tendons what they need to stay supple and strong. After a few weeks, I'd bend or squat with less hesitation, my legs trusting the move, and it felt like I'd dodged a bigger problem before it could take root. It's not a magic wand, deep damage needs more, but for the everyday grind, it's a boost that keeps delivering, and I'd feel it every time I moved without a wince. It's not just physical, there's a mental lift too, knowing you're doing something good for yourself. I'd finish my stretch and feel lighter, not just in my knees but in my head, like I'd taken charge of a piece of my day. Judy said the same, she'd stretch and feel ready, not worried about her knees giving out mid-task. It builds a quiet confidence, you're not just reacting to pain, you're stopping it before it starts. Over time, I'd notice my range improve too, bending deeper, stepping wider, little wins that added up to a bigger sense of freedom. It's a ripple effect from 5 minutes, and it's kept my knees and me moving forward. Your easy guide to mastering this 5-minute stretch. Here's how to nail this trick and feel your knees lighten up in just 5 minutes. Stand near a wall or chair for balance, grab one ankle with your hand, and pull your foot gently toward your backside, keeping your knees close together. Hold it for 30 seconds, feeling that front thigh stretch, then switch legs. I keep it slow, breathing deep, my back straight so the stretch hits right, not too hard, just enough to release the tension. Do it 2 or 3 times per leg, hitting 5 minutes total, and you're done. Morning, evening, or after sitting a while works fine, wherever you are. It's a breeze once you try it, and the ease sneaks in fast. I'd finish and step off like my knees had shrugged off a heavy load. You can tweak it to fit your life, keeping it simple and flexible. I do it by my kitchen counter, one hand steadying me, or outside if the air's nice, letting the breeze wake me up as I stretch. If 30 seconds feels quick, hold it longer, up to a minute if your legs are okay with it. Just don't push past comfort. It's about relief, not strain. I'd mix it up sometimes, stretching one leg while I sip my coffee, weaving it into my day without extra effort. The key is doing it daily. 5 minutes every day beats a long session once a week, and I'd feel my knees soften each time, ready for whatever came next. It's not complicated, it's just a move that clicks, and the payoff's in every smooth step you take. Let's go deeper on how to make it work for you, because little details can seal the deal. Stand tall, don't hunch forward, or the stretch shifts to your back instead of your quads. I'd catch myself leaning sometimes and straighten up, feeling it focus where it should. Keep your stretching leg relaxed, not stiff, so the muscle lets go. I'd wiggle my toes a bit to loosen it, and it'd feel smoother. If one knee's fussier, ease into it slower, maybe 20 seconds at first, then build up. I did that when my left leg grumbled more, and it caught up fine. It's about listening to your body, not forcing it, and I tweak it day by day till it felt like mine. This 5-minute stretch has been my knee's best buddy, keeping me moving without pills or drama. It's not the whole fix. If your knees swell or scream, a doctor's worth a check, but for the usual aches, it's a natural lift I lean on. I do it daily now, standing tall, feeling that stiffness fade, and it's like a gift to my legs every time. Judy's hooked too, says it's her secret for keeping up with her plants. If it's tough or your pain's sharp, get a pro's take, but for most of us, this is pure gold, easy, free, and real. It took me a few tries to lock it in, but now it's automatic, and my knees show it every stride. Want to ditch the ache and move free? Try this 5-minute trick today, and feel the lift roll in. It's gold for our golden years. Loved this knee-saving tip? Follow Harmonic Aging for more golden years gems like this. Hit that subscribe button, and let's keep moving together.